Hello everyone, it's your girl Achinya Yona back with another video. Mm. I know y'all like it like that. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I missed y'all guys. Did you miss me? How you doing today, boo? Good. I'm glad to hear. So, in today's topic, I'm gonna be talking about something very taboo. Okay, it's very taboo. Not a lot of people acknowledge it, nor do European Americans want us to acknowledge it. But we're going to be talking about Caucasian slavery, okay? We're going to talk about European slavery. You know, I made another video about this like a long time ago, and I will put it up here for y'all to see. And I'll also link it down below if you want to watch it. Y'all, like, the things I was learning today, I was like, okay, because I'm gonna break it down to y'all, because y'all know I did my own genealogy too, right? So the stuff that I learned was mind-blowing about European slavery. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yona, indentured servitude ain't slavery. Okay, but I got another, baby, this is on a whole nother level, okay? Like, I don't think y'all ready for this information. Now, I will add a disclaimer, okay? Because I know some people are very sensitive when it comes to history, when it comes to slavery. And if that makes you upset, hearing and learning about people owning other people, or, you know, you just don't want to hear anything bad about white people at all, just click off that video, baby. Just click off. I know, just skip out on it if you're not ready for this information. I totally understand. Your holy ears, you ain't ready to hear it. You know, you ain't ready for that niggatry right now. So I got you, baby. I got you. Except I'm not giving you niggatry. I'm giving you facts. Okay? Alright. Number one. Okay, I'm going to start with Europe first. Over 1 million European Christians were enslaved by Muslims in North Africa between 1530 and 1780. Okay, now, I was reading this article, and they was already trying to compare it to, you know, African slavery, saying, oh, it's not as big as, you know, black African slaves. However, how is it that these people getting enslaved and enslaving us by the millions? Okay, there's over 1 million of them getting enslaved. Now, don't you think Europe would have paid more attention to that? Having their own people enslaved? Okay, anywho, from 1500 to 1650, when transatlantic slave trade was going on and still in its infancy, more white Christian slaves were taken to Barbary than black African slaves to the Americas. Ooh, okay, I hear people getting upset, but these are the facts, baby. These are the facts. That's all I can give you, but I can give you the facts, okay? And just like I said in Tasha's video, and if you haven't seen this video, check it out. She talked about how the numbers on the transatlantic slave trade were inflated. You know, they're not factual. You know, I also remember reading a book talking about there's no way that they could transport this much Africans in this certain time frame, you know, and that they was getting these slaves from nearby towns and Indian nations. So you gotta look at this stuff, baby. Oh, but it gets deeper, baby. It gets deeper. Okay. Oh, y'all ain't ready for me today. I ain't ready for myself. Okay. Number 3. Between 50 to 67% of white immigrants to American colonies from the 1630s and American Revolution had traveled under indenture. Many were transported against their will and for profit to Virginia and Maryland. Okay? The French transported women from prison to the homeless, insane, and criminal to New Orleans. Okay, I'm just gonna put this book down right quick. well, my notes down. I had a uncle, my Uncle Sean, rest his soul. I love that man. He was like a father to me, okay? My uncle was really pro-black, you know, and he was like, you know, them Europeans sent their prisoners, them people do all them crimes to colonize America, okay? I was like, okay, I hear you, uncle. But now, you know, over the years when I read this stuff, I'm like, dang, he was not lying. Like, when I was reading how, like, they taking prisoners over here, you know, putting them into slavery and making them indentured servitudes, I was like, oh, no. You know, when you think about it, that's probably why people are so jacked up in America. You mix them with all these people with mental illnesses and acting a fool. You know, all the school shootings and stuff, you know. It just makes sense, baby. It just makes sense. You know, because there's just a lot of crazy people. And you know what? I know I'm getting off track, but I need to tell y'all guys this too, okay? So I'll be watching Bailey Sarian, and she talks about you know, unsolved mysteries and crimes and stuff. And I read a comment on her video, and it was like, you know, it seemed like the police force attracts psycho killers, serial killers. I'm like, this show is right. Because when you look at the crimes that people have committed, a person could find, you could find a joint on one person, like a small joint, and they lock them up for 20 years, okay? But yet, there are pedophiles, child molesters out there that only get 2 months, 1 month, even probation for just a year. You know, they don't serve that much time in prison, if any. And then she was talking about this one man that was just a serial killer, and he was going around killing like prostitutes and stuff. And he told the police station that he couldn't make no friends, and that people everywhere he went to knew who he was, and he couldn't live a normal life. So the police was like, okay, we're going to conceal your record so you can make new friends. I'm like, what? What? Are you serious? Yeah, this is straight factual. This is straight factual. Okay? And this is very sad, okay? Because the way criminals run America is alarming. And then when you look at who founded America, it makes sense. It makes sense. There's a whole lot of psychopaths out there just mentally able to... Child, let me tell you, okay. Okay, but I'm gonna go ahead, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead, okay. Number 4. Not all people counted as white slave owners were white. Okay, since most of the free Indian population of Charleston City aligned themselves with the free mulatto community, they are here included in the statistics of free colored slave owners of South Carolina. Okay, and I'm going to tell y'all a little bit my ancestry too. Okay, because I talked about this in my Discovering Genealogy book, which you can find right here. Okay. So my family was slave owners. One of my great grandpeople was slave owners. Now, some documents, they were listed as black. Other documents, they are listed as white. And I thought that was mighty strange. I'm like, I know this is the same person. But, I'm not understanding, you know? So I'm just like, why? I'm like, they must have, these census takers, that's why I tell y'all guys, census takers be erasing identity. And that's why I said in my last video. And if you haven't checked it out, go ahead, check it out. Y'all, they counted my ancestors as white when they could have been, you know, melanated. They could have been like a colored person, but we never know, you know, because if there's a book called Black Slave Owners, and it talks about black slave owners in the South and how they were owning people, and it seemed like a lot of mulattoes were owning people, and then even people that came out of slavery, and they was owning people too. And not only were they having white servants, but they was having white slaves too. You know, so I know a lot of people like to put pressure that white people own black people, but there were black people that own white people too, you know. And in history, they are not going to tell y'all guys. It never in school are y'all going to hear about black people owning white people. Not never, not ever, okay? But these are the facts, okay? And also too, I read that in New Orleans, it was more black women slave owners there. So I was like, this is interesting, y'all. So it is what it is. And before you ask, no, you're not getting no reparation from me. You need to talk to the other side of the family. I know I have a white side out there, but I don't really talk to them. You need to talk to them. You can't get none out of me. No, thank you. Get your reparations, but you just can't get it from me, baby. Okay. All right. Okay, black people own white slaves. This is number 5, okay? All right. Number 5, black people own white slaves. Virginia slave laws, some were allowed to testify against whites in court and purchase white servants. Anglo-Saxons were being sold as blacks. That's why I be telling y'all guys, just because you see someone on the census that say a certain race does not mean that was the actual race of your ancestor. They over here counting white slaves as black people. And people need to understand, black is not a race, it's a classification. Okay? It's a slave classification. Okay? So people need to understand that. You know, being black and white, those are statuses. They're not necessarily a color or a people. They are a status. Black and white is a status, y'all. It's a status. I can't stress this enough. Like that, like, why do you think, you know, a lot of so-called black people were going to court to be seen as white? Okay, why do you think even Africans, when they come over here, they are seen as white? Okay, on paper. You can't make this stuff up. This is all documented history. This is straight facts. And I got that information from the Black Slave Owners book. Okay, and I'm going to link it down below so y'all can purchase it on Amazon. Because, baby, I was reading that book and I was like, this is a lot. This is a lot, y'all. This is a lot. But I hope that y'all guys understand the bigger picture here and understand what's really going on. You know, you just can't believe what these history teachers be telling you because they're not going to tell you the truth. When I wanted to learn about Irish slavery, some of y'all ain't going to call it slavery, but to be honest, you know, so-called black people were sold much more than Irish slaves or indentured servitude, you know? Like, they were way cheaper than so-called black people. Like, they was just purchasing them like it was nothing, you know? So, just look up history, y'all. You know, research the facts. You know, I'm only here to tell y'all the truth and only the truth. So, you know, your girl got you, okay? And if you want to learn more about Indian slavery, check out my book, Discovering Genealogy by me, okay? I love y'all guys, and until the next time, bye.